everybody. We really appreciate you coming and using our facilities, because not only is it an opportunity for you to have your training session at our facilities, it also enables us the opportunity to let you know who we are and what we do. A lot of you might know Coastal Horse Care Unit was founded by Jill Owensdahl. It was her passion. She saw a need in rural communities, and that's what inspired the drive to want to start this facility, not only to help the rural communities, but to also help all horse owners throughout KZN. Our motto is we don't just confiscate, we educate. As some of you might have seen today, when a horse comes in, we educate them on how to help the horse. We take the horse in and we educate them and we negotiate with them on how to deal with the problems in all different disciplines. Okay, Coastal Horse Care Unit was founded in 2009. We are a non-profit organisation, so we do rely on a lot of donations. We have 3 different departments, which I'm going to get into now. We can see there's beautiful Mondi there. We have stable management, which is managing the farm, which is Anne. Some of you met her recently. There is inspectorate. We have a proper inspector who used to work previously with SPCA. So in other words, he is actually an officer of the law. He can confiscate horses legally. That is Alec Wiley. Some of you might know him. Then there's rural outreach and training, which is me. I handle all the rural, anything to do with rural, no matter what it is, I handle it. If rural owners come in, I deal with it. If they want to buy tack, if they phone us, or if they've got an injured horse, a sick horse, anything like that, I deal with it. Also do training. This is a training center that was funded by Department of Sports and Recreation. They built this entire facility and kitted it out. So we do a lot of training in the rural communities. We go out and we hold training workshops in their rural communities. Plus we have training camps where either boys or ladies or whatever come in here for training. We keep it very simple and very basic, from basic how to handle horses, how to groom with horses, and we go right up to the different levels. We have administration. Some of you might know Brenda. She's been with the unit for quite a while. She handles all administration, deals with people that want to come in and purchase items, anything like that. Fundraising, at the moment, Jill does most of the fundraising. When there's a fundraising event to go to, no matter when it is, what time of day, whether it ends at midnight, we all go. We've all got to go there and do fundraising, sell raffle tickets, do auctions, do whatever we have to just to help fund, to keep the farm sustainable, keep it going. Okay, stable management, yes, there's Anne with 2 of our staff. Yeah, she does the staff management, she liaises with the vets, the farriers, and the beamer people. She does the ordering of the feed, maintenance of paddocks, pasture management, and rehabilitation of horses. We laugh because I rescue them and she feeds them. And we call her the milk lady. Whenever there's an orphan foal that has to be fed, Anne has to go do every 2 hours the milk lady. Okay, this is Alec. He's our inspector. He also does property inspections for pre- and post-adoptions. So even when a horse is adopted from us, he will still come out and inspect your property like every 6 months, that type of thing, to make sure you aren't just adopting a horse from us, you are looking after it as well, and to make sure it is still there. He handles the legal aspect. He has to go into the courts, depending on which area in KZN, to fight with magistrates and all that type of thing. He has fun stuff to do. Okay, and he also handles the confiscations. And he makes great coffee. Every morning, all us ladies get coffee. Okay, yeah, there's the fundraising. A lot of people ask, they don't know what they can do to help. There is so much that people can do to help. Not only is it donations, this is a donation that came from a stable yard in Queensborough. It's just simple medicines, calamine lotion, hydrogen peroxide, all that type of thing. All this we got from him. Every little bit helps, no matter how big or how small. People come and donate old tack. Sometimes it's a saddle, sometimes it's bridles, sometimes it's buckets. Everything helps. Every little bit helps. When I was chatting to some of the ladies yesterday, something that a lot of people have lying around stacks, headpieces for bridles. We need those. We've got all the different bits and pieces, all the parts, but no headpieces. So we can't assemble bridles to take out into our rural communities to supply them. So simple things, those type of things. We also do sponsored events. There was a recent race day that was held at Greyville Racecourse for us, that type of thing. We have a breakfast coming up at Summerfeld Club quite soon. So look, follow our Facebook page and see, because we always put on things, events that we have coming up, and you can get involved. Even if it's just sharing our Facebook page. Anything like that. Every little bit helps. Rural outreach is me. Rural outreach and training. Okay, I do all the rural clinics, the training workshops, training camps, rural rescue, the welfare and rural racing. Rural traditional racing is not bush racing. It is not the same thing. Bush racing is thoroughbreds that have come from wherever, and they do underground illegal racing. Rural traditional racing is very organized. It's done through government, through Department of Agriculture and Department of Sports and Recreation. They work together and they formed what is called Rural Horse Riding Association. And we meet with them on a regular basis, very often. If they see any problem, I was contacted yesterday, the chairman of Rural Horse Riding saw that there's a problem. He just follows our Facebook page and he sees a horse looking a little bit underweight. He contacts me, Elaine, let's go to this area and do training on this, that. So they are working with us. And the reason why they work with us, their cherry on the top at the end of the day is they enjoy racing. It's an event that's gone back hundreds of years. It's how their community get together to socialize. We get together, we have a braai, or we go for a fondue, or we do this. That's how they get together. They get together on communal ground and they have a bit of a race day. Before, it never used to be monitored, so you get horses that were underweight, that were lame, that had saddle sores, they had problems. The horses that come to our race days are in impeccable condition. They look better than some thoroughbreds I've seen. They really look good. Their coats are shining, they're chunky, they're muscled, they are really in good condition. So please don't think it's bush racing. Okay. We have to liaise with various municipalities as well as the village chiefs. As you know, in the Zulu areas, those type of areas, there's a chief of the village. The chief of the village is the head of the local police station. Whatever the chief says, if there's a criminal activity in a village, never mind police, they go to the chief. Whatever the chief says goes. So before we just go into an area, we've got a meeting this week, we go meet with the chief of the village, Coastal Horse Unit gets introduced to him through one of our chairmen of rural horse riding of that district, and we negotiate holding clinics or race days or anything. It's a negotiation between them and us. And when we go out there, we are accepted with such joy and such appreciation because they have seen the upliftment and the condition of their horses as to how it has improved since we've been working in the areas. When you go to the different areas that we work in, you can tell an area that we haven't worked in a lot. Then we put more effort into, we book more training sessions. Even at the end of a clinic, we do a quick 10-minute training on the symptoms of durine, for example. Simple little thing like that. Or else how to fit a bridle. And every time we go there, they're always learning something new. When we arrive, they come to me and get traditional Zulu handshake, and they are happy, they are so appreciative, they don't run and hide, and they want our help, they really do. So I'm known as Lifesaver. Okay, this is just an example of a rural clinic. I was a little bit horrified myself when I went out there the first time, but this is how, because a lot of the horses live wild. We've got one owner who owns 165 horses. So he can't go to the field and bring each horse in. They get herded, and they get herded into a crush. This is a crush here, so you can see an example. It makes it also much easier to handle the horses. Some of them have never come into human contact. So while they're there, we can inject them. We inject them with, which is called a 3.5 solution. It's a broad spectrum, like a multivitamin. It handles ticks, mange, and various strains of worms as well. If there are any other underlying conditions, we treat them with whatever's needed. whether it's a lameness, whether it's a bad saddle sore, as you can see up there. Also, we see a lot of saddle sores out there, purely because, simple thing which I pointed out, they didn't know how to wash the nana. And they were washing the nana with the wrong stuff. They were using like Omo or surf, which is wrong because when it dries in the sun, it becomes like sandpaper. So we educate them on things that they have local, in the local shop, sunlight, block soap, that type of thing. So we just educate them on simple things, and they are so excited to learn how to look after their horses. Yeah. This here is just around the corner. This in Cato Ridge, this is he's a champion racehorse. If you can see the condition of him. That's a prime example of the horses that we see out there. It's very rare that you get a horse in bad condition. Very rare. This is just an example of some of the training camps. We do training camps for boys. We specialize it according to their age group. We used to do from 13 up to 18. We found that the 16 and 17-year-old boys would cause problems with the younger ones, so we split up the age groups now. We also don't do girls and boys mixed, we split it up. So we do the girls training camps. We're upcoming, we're very excited. We've got World Horse Welfare who sponsored us. They sent out a master saddle fitter from the UK. We are designing our own saddle for rural. We've got someone who's making a tree purely for us, for rural. And it's going to be everything locally made. The steel companies around the corner, the tree makers in Waterfall, everything is local. So it's going to, and then they're going to come here and they're going to learn how to make saddles from scratch. And then they're going to go out into their community and supply their own community with saddles. Then we're going to look for corporate sponsorship to sponsor each one to start their own business. And then they're going to get business management training as well. So we're thinking far ahead, not just short-term, donate a saddle. We're trying to solve a problem. Farrier training as well. Some of our staff have had farrier training. They went to Soweto, also sponsored by World Horse Welfare. That happens on a regular basis. There's some more coming up as well. CBEA, that means Community-Based Equine Advisor, like little us out there. They're going to be trained up on how to see if a horse has got colic, how to see if a horse is lame, how to treat the basic wounds, that type of thing. And then they're going to be supplied with all the medicines, not injectable medicines, just simple treatment medicines, and also like something that was mentioned yesterday, which I want to take out there, which is the treatment of the lacerations using honey, sugar, and iodine. That type of information is so valuable to us, you cannot believe. I was so excited, I went and told them yesterday, and they're like, yay! Now we know, because out there, they don't have a spa down the road or a Checkers down the road or whatever. They've got to go to the local little spa shop, which by the way, they have to ride their horse to get to, because none of them have cars, and it's quite far to walk. So their horses are their livelihood. They really need them to be healthy and well. And also the wound care training, which we're going to get vets to do. This here is a ladies' training that happened recently. Wayne Bushnell, who does natural horsemanship, he came in and did a demonstration to the ladies over here. And this here is MEC Belinda Scott. She's the MEC of Treasury. She's a horse person. She has a horse around the corner as well. She came in and helped as well. She actually funded the camp. So her interest was, she wanted to see how it was going. And during that camp as well, we had one of the staff from Gold Circle, who is a seamstress. She came in and taught the ladies how to make numbers from scratch. So now they can go into their communities and supply their communities with numbers. And also how to make, and it's a type of number where the Velcro comes off, take the cover off, wash it, dry it, and put it back on. So it will prevent saddle sores. Because it's easy to wash and dries quicker. Now, that's just the ladies there. This is the boys' camp there. This is at Summerfeld Training Academy. We sometimes treat them to an outing and expose them to career opportunities as well. One of the boys, when we took them to South African Jockey Academy, while they were there having the talk, the guy said that 2 of the boys looked like potential candidates to be jockeys. The next day we went to Scottsville racing, and all the trainers came and swarmed around these 2 little boys, and we have sent them forward for the applications for Jockey Academy, and they're hoping to get a bursary sponsorship. So there's career opportunities as well for them. Okay, oh, that's a lovely horse. This is Brandy, the one that Jackie broke. This is before we brought her in. She's walking along the side of the road. You can see the whole demeanor. Now she had given up on life. Yeah, what we do is, as I was saying to some of you yesterday, when we get a case like this, we received 150 phone calls about Brandy. Before we could do anything, we had to first of all find the horse, find out who owns it, and then follow the legal procedures. We can't just remove a horse from the side of the road. We will be arrested by stock theft unit. We can't do that. We have to follow the protocol to keep it above board. So we have to first of all find out who owns the horse, communicate with the owner, communicate with stock theft unit, communicate with the pound, and we're all in communication about one horse before we can remove it and who is allowed to remove it. Okay, luckily we have a good relationship with the pound and stock theft unit. They said to secure the safety because she was on a main road, get her off the road and somewhere safely, and then we will sort out the situation, which is what we did. And this is a few weeks later, and as you know, we got her signed over after 6 weeks. So yeah, now she can be rehabilitated and rehomed. So we do this a lot. We do get a few cases. We get called out at all hours of day and night. Sometimes we get called out to a horse that's been knocked over by a car. Sometimes, like Mondi's case, Mom was killed on the road, and we had to go rescue the foal because the foal was also on a very busy, on the Richmond Road, on a very busy road. So these type of things, the reason why I'm saying this is my staff go through a lot of trauma. And we have to deal with not only rescuing the horses, but wawas from public as well. Yeah, so, yeah, and we are, for the rescue side, rural, it's me and my 3 staff. We cover the whole of KZN. We treat 5,000 horses that are on record, 5,000 at the moment. So I keep joking around in the meetings. They say, okay, what do we need to ask for in funding? I keep telling them we need a helicopter. So if anyone's got a helicopter lying around, because I kid you not, sometimes you're at the office, you're busy getting a report together, and all of a sudden a horse in false wrist is lame and sick and needs help. And we've got to use what resources we have, because false wrist 4 or 5 hours drive away, and then you get a call in Coxstead. And there's just me and 3 staff, and 1 4x4. So if you've got a 4x4 lying around, yeah, so it is quite trying on the team. So we try and communicate with whoever. That's why I was saying to Debbie just now, she's in Moy River. We're trying to get contacts all over the place that are horsey people. Because sometimes it's a simple injury or a simple lameness, or else it just needs to sit in a stable for a night. We can't always shoot out there, so we communicate with our various contacts. Just can't you go and sort that out for me, please? And then once it's safe, okay, we'll use you too. Cool. Once it's safe, then we communicate with state vets through Department of Agriculture, and they have been phenomenal. We now invite them on clinics with us, and when they come on clinics with us, we handle the minor wounds, and we say, okay, you do the severe ones. And they're happy because also the state vets and the CCS vets, they want more experience. So they're very keen to come help us. They also come with us on our race days as well. Okay, as you can see, we do wound treatment. This is a common one that we see out there. Saddle sore, and also when they ride bareback. Bareback also causes major wounds as well. This is a recent case that we had, of course, that came out of Cato Ridge. The guy called me to say there's something wrong with its foot. We brought it in, opened up the foot, and this apparently is canker inside the foot, yeah. So there was nothing we could do for him. But those are the type of wounds and cases we have to deal with. This is traditional rural horse riding. As you can see, the horses are in quite good condition.
Excuse me, what is canker?
You can explain that. I was also confused about that. It's a disease that's inside the foot that eats away. Basically, the horse had no frog. The frog was gone.
Okay.
Yeah. And we spoke to Johnny Dawson. Apparently it can heal, but it's very expensive and it's quite lengthy. And when it's a rural horse, a working horse that's needed for transport to get to the shops and back, they can't say, okay, 6 months rest, that type of thing.
So did you put it down?
Yes, we did, yeah. But he had so many other problems as well. He had Durin. Do you know what Durin is?
No.
Durin is HIV/AIDS in a horse, and it is contactable. If a stallion covers the mare can get it as well.
Oh.
It's actually a notifiable disease,
Wow.
like strangles or horse sickness. Yeah. This here is a rural horse race that recently took place in Scottsville. This is, she was a state vet, she now works for a private practice. This is Dr. Sarah Helgreen. She helps us a lot with our rural racing. This is one that took place, it was freezing that day. It took place just past Dundee in Yomi. This is to give you an idea of why we need a 4x4. This is a road, horse road, and I had to follow him with a trailer. Yeah, and there's the crush down there. I had to cross a river to get to it as well. And that's the 4x4. And donated tack, they are on dire need. You can see we have the donated tack in the trailer. At the end of the clinic, we sell the tack to them. By the time we finish treating horses, I have a queue waiting at the trailer to buy bridles, numbers, overreach boots, brushing boots, you name it. Yeah, they really want it. And we sell it to them really cheap, like a pair of overreach boots, 10 rand. A bridle, 50 rand, a fully fitted bridle. Yeah. And we'd rather sell it to them cheap, so at least they, like you saw some of the stuff we've confiscated, at least they're using that instead of that. Yeah. And this is the training centre here that you all know about. I don't know if some of you have been all the way through, but we do have a dormitory in the back. They can sleep up to 20 children or 20 people at a time. There's also a room there for caregivers. Whenever we have children, we have qualified caregivers here that are trained in first aid as well as educational. So in the evening they get educational games and that type of thing too. So it's not all just horses, horses, horses. Sometimes they teach them life skills and, you know, dealing with, sometimes they come from very troubled homes. Sometimes it's a teenager that has no parents that's raising two younger kids. So we teach them those type of things as well. And there's the different aspects, as you can see. And I think that's it. Thank you very much.